how to land SMMA clients like a minimalist. That is the topic of our video. But before we get too deeply into it, do me a favor if you haven't already. Subscribe and press the notification bell so you can get more agency tips just like this one. So let's get right into it. One of the benefits that I have as an agency coach is that I get to see mass data and what is working best for other agency owners. And oftentimes, by the time people come to me, they are so confused and unclear on how to best land clients that they have all these different methods that they've picked up from gurus and slapped together into a big cluster. The problem comes down to a few things. When you are optimizing any new traffic source in your business, it takes real effort. Whether it's ads, cold callers, LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. All of them are going to be a little different and carry their own nuances. And as a startup agency, you likely have too many different directions that you're heading in, and so you're just paralyzed. So why did you do this? Well, it's likely you looked at an agency such as mine, and you see me with a team of callers, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and you thought to yourself, that's what I need, multiple traffic sources. But I urge you to become self-aware of where you are right now. When I first started my agency, I ultimately had one stream of traffic, and it was one that was brutal for most. I was cold calling people. I later added in cold callers, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, etc. But all you have to do is just choose one, get it working. And that simplicity is going to help you massively. There was a saying by Einstein where he said, "It's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." And it's likely when you first start, your new traffic source is not going to work. And so you're going to have to tweak it until you get it working. But here's where people screw up. While they're struggling with their new traffic source, they see their peers and others online and they're succeeding in a different traffic source or in a different industry. And so they keep pivoting, thinking that's where they need to be, and they never find stability in anything. When I'm optimizing, I do it in 3 stages. Stage number 1 is data collection. The first thing I do when launching a new traffic source is just collect data. I can't focus on if leads are closing or not without leads to begin with. And oftentimes people will say, what if I run these ads and not close any clients? And the reality is that's just a part of the game. But I can guarantee you that if you do not run that specific traffic source, you won't get any clients from it. You need more than one day of cold calling or running an ad to collect data. For me, for instance, when I'm launching a new ad, I started around $50 a day, and after I initiate it, I don't touch anything for 3 days, which takes us to point number 2. Analyze the data. After 3 days, I go into my account and I click inspect and I look at the demographic data, and here I can narrow down to the audience that has best been converting for me. And sometimes I notice that I don't have enough data to make an accurate assessment after 3 days, so I'll either duplicate the ad set or just let it run longer. But you have to treat it the way you would want your client to treat their data. Because sometimes marketers are real quick to turn off their own stuff, but they'll tell their clients, well, it just takes time. Don't be a hypocrite. Let it run its course. That takes us to point number 3, optimize. Now that you've got a strategic plan from the data that you've collected, you can continue to narrow down your audience. And I found that 90% of my ads convert better on a mobile. So now when I launch an ad set, I always create one that runs on mobile only. Then, one thing I always want to do is make sure that I don't turn off something just because it's expensive. One time I turned off an ad set because the cost was over 50% higher than my other ads, but later on I realized that 3 out of my 5 sales that week that I had made came from a higher cost ad set, and I turned it back on. Minimalism in your agency can be one of the most effective methods when you're starting out because keeping it simple is what works. Most people think that it's some really advanced strategy that gets you clients, and while the psychology behind what I teach is next level and it does make a difference in your outreach, it's always the simple things that work. The same way a child learns is the same way that you should be learning and growing your agency. Start with the basics, then slowly get more and more advanced. But if your systems are not closing deals in the most raw and simplistic form, then you will not be able to do anything once you complicate it. If you'd like to learn more about how I grew my agency to over 50 clients my first year, click the link below in the description and watch my free training. If you enjoyed this video, please press like. My name's Ross from Agency Knowledge, and have a nice day.